Welcome to Alula and the next phase of Dakar 2026. We are now officially into the big stages of the tour. And today is going to be no different. 422 kilometers for competitors, and we'll eventually see them arrive back into the bivouac at Alula. But they are already starting to think about the first of the marathons. Hannah, what's on the menu today?
We'll have portraits of original by Motul rider Benjamin Mello and last year's runner-up in the Ultimates Henk Lategan, who's eyeing glory this year with Toyota Gazoo Racing. We roll back the years and we take a look back into the past with Luc Alphonse, and we bring you up to speed with highlights across all of the categories on stage 3.
Before that, we check in with the Dakar heroes.
It's not we that have technical issues, right? No, it's in everything. We have technical issues even in English. Challenges. Oof. Not easy. We hope not to do it on the field. Cuidado con la mano. Okay. Yay!
A quick weather update from the start of this first special. Tropical temperatures under the helmet. The rider fully focused. On the other hand, visibility is quite poor.
Vamos, María.
It's a bit bumpy.
Atención aquí. Calma aquí.
Fast yellow downhill for cap 240.
Vale, seguimos recto, cap 230. Cuidado la pierna, María. Dios.
يا وجه الله انتبه حمزه انتبه الله يعطيك البعر انتبه لا تكبنا ويلي روح يمين
We're going onto a rocky path. Be careful.
I'm worried we punctured.
What's up? It's getting hot, is it? I don't know, that's what that means, isn't it? I don't know if I got any water in there. What does that mean?
This is Dakar.
Oh, this way. Oh, you can go there. It's not to get stuck. Wow.
What's that? Another vehicle stopped.
We only got 57 kilometers left. Did you shut it off or you shut itself off?
I shut it off to like get back into Baja mode, but I think it's so hot. It's really hot.
What do you feel at the car? Something strange?
Yeah, no steering.
No steering?
Oh. That was weird.
In 1 kilometer, there's a stopped car.
The cars are stopped everywhere. Everything is braking.
Yes, you can do it.
Oh, we were really good. And then the guy from the truck just hit us.
Yeah.
Please.
From the thin air, in this desert, in all this space, they all of them accident right there.
This truck is a collection of annoyances.
Hello, anybody speaking? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear ya.
I'm just calling to check on you. Is everything okay?
Hopefully we'll be on our way shortly.
There is no medical issue, no? No, all okay.
All good.
Okay.
In the bikes, title holder Daniel Sanders took the lead in the overall after stage 2 from his KTM teammate Edgar Canet. However, he's under immense pressure from his Honda rivals.
Another early start on the Dakar, although the sun was up by the time the amateur riders prepared to leave the bivouac. Whether they have been riding bikes for their whole lives or just a few years, these guys are united by their common passion. They have dreamed, they have dared, and they are living it at Dakar 2026. Stage 3 takes the competitors on a now familiar loop through the magnificent canyons around Alula, and it's another long one, just over 420 kilometres against the clock. There will be sandy tracks and rocky sections to contend with, and the navigation is set to be tricky, as it always is around here. The bonus time could be key for the openers in the bikes. Well, the first man out today, Daniel Sanders, the rally leader with a big job to do on his factory KTM.
It's going to be a big mixture of everything, but I think opening yesterday helps a lot for the confidence, and I'm sure if it's hard, it's going to be hard for everyone from behind, so it's hard to push the tracks when it's dry terrain as well. So yeah, we'll just focus on out front and what I'm doing, so yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
After a difficult start, Adrian van Beveren will have been hoping for better fortunes today, while Bradley Cox is the last remaining Sherco factory rider, with Harit Noah and Lorenzo Santolino both crashing out.
I feel good. Well, I hope the next few days aren't like the first two, which weren't very successful for me. But I'm here in one piece and ready for the day. That's what counts.
I'm the Lone Ranger now at Sherco, so I've got to also think a little bit for the team and not go too crazy. But I'm happy where I am. I'm just outside top 10, so I mean the goal is to get into the top 10, and day by day I'm feeling better and better and better, so yeah.
The stage turned out to be as treacherous as the scenery was spectacular, with several high-profile crashes. Tobias Ebster talks us through his misadventures.
I felt good in the beginning, but around kilometer 16 I was going into a left corner. The bike felt amazing, to be honest. I didn't feel anything was going wrong, and then suddenly a rock was taking me out, and the front just went away, and the bike fell on me and broke my scaphoid for the third time now again.
You speak English?
Yes. Could be worse. Can always be worse. But all the hard work, all the hard preparation, it's gone. Can't even show. Have to wait another year to go to Dakar.
We hope to see Toby back with us soon. Elsewhere in Rally 2, it was a difficult day for Niels Terek, despite a strong start, which saw him catch several riders, including Martin Mitschek. After nearly 300k, the bib mousse inside his rear tyre melted, and he had to get through the rest of the stage without it, putting the tyre around his neck and crawling to the finish. He wasn't looking forward to the long liaison back to the bivouac. It was a much better day for Callion Bold Adenebeleg, who's discovering the Dakar this year with the Bass World KTM team. The The Mongolian star's been getting to grips with the stones and the long days, but he has really impressed the team with his speed. He was fourth today in Rally 2 behind the factory Honda pairing of Martin Ventura and Preston Campbell. The class is still being led by Callian Bold's teammate, Michael Doherty, who had another top 10 finish overall. The South African was pretty satisfied with his navigation, though he did get lost in the rocks with around 100k to go. He looks set for a battle with Ventura for the Rally 2 title. They are separated by just 3.5 minutes overall.
It seems like every year I've got somebody new that's challenging me. No, I knew he was going to be good. I remember him last year as well. He's a really good rider and he's learning a lot more of the rally. So I can only do what I can and expect a good result in the end.
Unfortunately, Ebster wasn't the only rider to crash today. A nasty one for Nacho Cornejo, who was thankfully straight back on his feet. Well, Nacho setting off again, and as it happened, two other Rally GP riders were caught out in exactly the same spots. Tosha Sharina
Okay, I see you in the I see you in the last time.
The Spaniard also able to continue. But for Stefan Zvitko, it was the end of the road. The Slovakian, competing in his 17th Dakar, had to be airlifted back to the bivouac for treatment, and we also wish him a speedy recovery. Bradley Cox came home today in 13th place. The Sherco man happy with his pace until the refuelling, but he also made a mistake in the same section as Doherty, arriving at a waypoint from the wrong side and losing 5 to 6 minutes. That leaves him nearly 50 minutes off the pace, but considering what happened to some of his rivals today, it wasn't that bad. Edgar Canet was another man to lose his rhythm just after the refuel, but overall he was pretty happy with his performance. Setting off second behind Sanders, he lost more than 12 minutes, but he's still fourth overall and picked up more useful experience. He added that it's important to be taking good care of the tyres, especially in the two-part marathon stage that kicks off tomorrow. Luciano Benavides didn't have the ideal build-up to this Dakar, crashing at the Rally du Maroc and injuring his left knee and his left shoulder. But he has gritted his teeth and had a strong showing today in 4th place. The Argentine had to deal with the dust when he caught some of the riders in front, and he also had 3 minor crashes, but he is very much in the mix, sitting 5th overall. Third on the day and still in the overall lead is defending champion Daniel Sanders, who described this as one of the toughest stages he can remember in terms of nav. But the Aussie spent much of 2025 displaying his remarkable skills as an opener, and he led from start to finish today, collecting a maximum of 6 minutes and 29 seconds in bonuses.
I think I did really good. I'm happy with how I rode and navigated. So yeah, I didn't lose too much time at all, and I was super happy with that. Yeah, it's already starting to spread out already. The top 3 guys are up there, and yeah, there's a little gap now. So we'll keep pushing and see what we can do.
Ricky Brabeck described this as a great stage as he came home in second place. The American setting off 6 minutes behind Sanders and pushing hard to eventually join him up at the front. He grabbed 1 minute and 43 seconds of that all-important bonus time. Ricky is looking dialed in at the start of this 48th edition. Mind that camel, though. He now trails Sanders by just over a minute. And what about this for an effort from Schreiner? Recovering from that big crash earlier in the day to claim Honda's first stage win of the rally. The Spaniard securing his 3rd Dakar victory and moving up to 3rd place overall. Very much a day of ups and downs, but he's also in the fight. And having got sand in his starter button, he understandably didn't want to cut the engine for his post-stage interview.
Honestly, it went pretty well. The goal was to win the stage, and we did it. We're very happy because it's our first win of the rally. But tomorrow, we'll have to open the stage, and that hasn't been easy so far. We've had a lot of rocks, many kilometers. The first part was sandy. Navigation was difficult too, but we're happy.
The Honda 1-2 and a KTM 3-4 with Skylar Howes in 5th, only 4.5 minutes separating that top 5. Doherty and Ventura of Rally 2 rounded out the top 10. Sanders still leads by 1 minute and 7 seconds from Brabeck, with Schreiner up to 3rd at 1:13. There is then a bit of a gap back to Canet. He's 4th at 8 minutes and 46. There was also a bit of drama in the original by Motul class today as Emmanuel Gienes crashed heavily at kilometre 316 and was treated for a suspected concussion. He lost nearly 20 minutes to his nearest rival, Benjamin Mello, who's closed the gap to just 6 minutes and 45 seconds. We are now going to hear a little bit more about Benji's unshakable determination to win this class.
It's a category that has always fascinated me, even back when I was a mechanic. Those guys are real warriors. You'd see those in difficulty arriving late in the evening, tinkering with headlamps, running on empty. One day, I'll do that. Our whole life is in there. There's everything you need to repair the bike. It's our most precious possession. You can't mix things up, otherwise you're in trouble. It's a human and sporting adventure about pushing yourself beyond your limits. And at the same time, there's this impressive family spirit. In Motul, there's about 30 of us, one of the biggest bivouac teams. It's like having 30 teammates. Even if we compete against each other, we all go through the same struggles, and there's mutual support despite everything, which is really great. I was in the lead with one stage to go, one final day. We started in a line and I left with Jeunesse and the others. Since I was following the group, I was less focused on my own race. I didn't check and I missed validating the waypoint. I realized it 3 kilometers later. That's when I lost the Dakar. In the last 30 kilometers, I jumped over insane obstacles. I scared myself like never before. I've never ridden that fast in my life. That was my goal, my dream too. It's been years. I did the job yesterday. I was in the lead, but I lost the category by 3 minutes. It was hard to accept. but I worked on myself, and now I'm ready to come back, take my revenge.
Today on Dakar Expert Eye, I'm hanging out with the Kalahari Ferrari. Ross Branch. Ross, you know what it takes to get the best out of your machine, and one of those things is navigation.
Yeah, you know, navigation is probably the most important part about rally. You know, you can't win the race without navigation. So, yeah, let me take you through it a little bit.
Thanks, man.
So we've got our road book that sits on the cockpit like this. On our handlebars, we've got a small little cockpit. We've got a little button that can advance or send the road book back depending on what we do. Normally, if all the navigation down, then we can just move it on and it just moves one box at a time. If we do get lost and we need to come back, we can just retract that and then we can turn around and get back to where we knew we were correct. Then unfortunately, if we were lost, you know, the counter keeps on counting with the distance. So we can use these two buttons to just recalibrate where we are. So when we know where we got lost, we can stop, recalibrate everything, set up everything, and then follow the road book again. We've got two repeaters at the top here. We've got a distance and a cap heading, so we can follow it. We don't have to look at these small numbers when we're doing a high speed through the desert. We can just watch up here. Makes life a little bit easier for us. The most difficult thing with the tablet is obviously trying to read the notes when you're going at a high speed and interpret all this information and put it into your head and then see what you've got. The most important thing for us that we look at is going to be the waypoints. So we've got different types of waypoints that have different meanings, and as you can see here, they're different colors for us already, so they've interpreted for us. And then we can see that we're going off-piste, so it means that there's no tracks to follow. We're going through the dunes. It's danger 2, so all the dunes will be danger 2, and it's on a cap heading of 134. So it's a lot of information to take at one time, but as soon as you start getting used to it and you learn it a little bit quicker, as soon as you don't have to look at the whole note, you can just look down, see the cap heading, the distance, and follow the path. One thing about navigation, if you get it right, it's the most amazing feeling and you do well in the rally. If you get it wrong, it's really stressful and it's going to be a long day.
Here on the start line for stage 3, I'm joined by the man who had a successful day yesterday and is now leading the race overall, Nasser Al-Attiyah. Congratulations on yesterday.
Thank you.
I feel like we've been on this stage in some ways before. Talk to us about your thoughts on today.
Yeah, today it will be not easy day. You know, we know the stage very well, and it's the region, not the stage, but it will be like really a tough day for everyone, but we need to be smart like last 2 days, and now we are leading Dakar and we try to keep it and to build the time until the rest day. I hope can have a good day today.
So that's the Dakar for you, isn't it? Always thinking about tomorrow whilst racing today, and let's see how this man goes on today's stage.
Six o'clock in the morning, and preparations for the day are about to begin. Another 421 kilometers of competition coming up, a loop around Alula. Before the cars fuel up, the drivers must too. Opening the stage today would be American Seth Quintero.
Morning. Everyone's trying to make a big deal out of it. Apparently today is the big navigation day and all this, and to be honest, I just think they're trying to get in my head, and I'm kind of just stone cold right now and nothing can get in my head, so I have a lot of faith in Andrew, and I think he's one of the best co-drivers in the bivouac, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yazid Al-Raji struggled on the opening day, but was back on form yesterday on his way to third. We've gotten used to the conditions. Honestly, the first stage wasn't good for us. We missed a waypoint. Hopefully we put the bad luck behind us. Dakar lasts 13 or 14 days, and setbacks can happen at any time. We faced all of ours on the first day. Wish us luck, and we can make up for it in the coming days. The rally is still long. Toyotas finished first, second, third, fourth and fifth yesterday. Al-Raji's Hilux heading out to the start. As ever on the Dakar, the Lithuanian fans were out in force. As off went Quintero to open the stage. The fears of opening the road, though, appeared to be well-founded. Punctures aplenty, and Quintero lost over an hour and finished 55th. Fan Gaoqiang is one of the top Chinese off-road talents, and he's making his debut on the Dakar this year for JJ Sport. A Chinese junior karting champion and a two-time winner of the Chinese Rally Championship, Fan finished 21st on today's stage, his best of the rally so far. And all those Lithuanian fans got to see their man, Benediktas Vanagas, have a strong run today. 8th in 2024, that's his best overall result. He was forced to retire on stage 5 last year, a solid 14th today. The rally leader overnight was 5-time champ Nasser Al-Attiyah, just 7 seconds ahead of Quintero. Starting 8th on the road, on a day that looked to be a full attack day, the safe money would have been on Al-Attiyah to still be leading 421 kilometers later. As it was, the stage created more puncture problems than imagined. Al-Attiyah finished 19th on the day, plummeting to 10th overall.
Today is very tricky. We have two puncture and it was really not easy. We take it easy last 100K because just we need to survive and to finish the stage. It's not easy day, what I say.
The winner of stage 1, Guillaume de Mevius, was 3rd overall coming into today, but an early puncture stopped him in his tracks. Co-driver Mathieu Baumel got out to lend assistance. The pair got back out and on their way, but further problems later on in the stage meant they ended up losing almost 2.5 hours to the leaders, a deficit that's going to be very difficult to claw back. And another frontrunner not having a good day was Sebastian Loeb. The 9-times World Rally Champion said the stage didn't suit the Dacia and suffered 2 punctures in the first 100 kilometers. After that, he slowed down as much as possible. He described himself as running at 20% performance just to get to the end of the stage. He lost 25 minutes. Let's ride on board with Toby Price, who's running 16th overall.
Quite a crazy day again, but yeah, look, we got one flat, I think about 120 kilometers it felt, and then I saw Seth, he had a flat as well, or he's had 2 flats and was out of tyres, so I gave him my other spare, and I ran all afternoon with no spare tyres.
And down in 16th position in the end was reigning champion Yazid Al-Raji. More punctures and a cautious drive from the overdrive Toyota man meant he lost 16 minutes to the race lead. Yesterday's heroics undone, and he's now 30 minutes off of the overall after just 3 stages. This stage really puts the drivers and the incredible machines they drive through a tough test. The highest-placed Dacia driver today was Cristina Gutierrez. After early troubles last year, the Spaniard spent most of the rally running as support for Al-Attiyah and Loeb in their title assaults. This year, she's hit the ground running and is ahead of both of those two in the overall standings, lying in 7th. It looked like it would be a stage without punctures, but apparently it was very destructive for the others, so I'm super happy. And especially happy about the relationship I'm building with Pablo in terms of navigation. I'm very happy. Yesterday, Guy Bottrill lost hours with punctures. Today, he finished 3rd. the fickle nature of the Dakar in full swing. Bottrell's in his third Dakar adventure and has shown pace in each edition so far. The South African was 15th after the first 100 kilometres, but after the next 300, he was able to climb through the order to finish on the Stage 3 podium. And Martin Prokop showed today that a third place on Stage 1 was no fluke. In fact, today he went one better. 2 podiums in the first 3 days have left the Czech in second overall, just 26 seconds off the overall lead. But the winner of the stage was Mitch Guthrie in his Ford. After Toyota domination yesterday, Ford looked in control today. Matthias Ekstrom and Nanni Roma swapped the lead until 300 Ks when Guthrie took over and was then never challenged. Not only was it a first stage win in the Ultimates, but it also moved him into the overall lead of the rally 3 days in.
That's my first stage win in the Ultimate class, so I actually wasn't expecting it. We just had a really clean day. We started towards the back, and Kellen killed it on the navigation. There were a lot of tricky spots and no flat tires. Truck was great, so we just kept moving all day, really. And yeah, if it holds up, best day ever.
6 Fords in the top 10 today, with Denis Krotov creeping in. Lucas Moraes was the highest placed Dacia, but the win for Mitch Guthrie moves him into the overall lead of the Dakar. He finished the stage 2 minutes and 27 seconds ahead of Martin Prokop, but he's only 26 seconds ahead of Prokop in the overall standings. But keep an eye on Alatia, who's lurking there in 10th position. Second on the road today was Henk Lategan. He got 2 punctures in 3 kilometres on the stage, which cost him a lot of time. But he's still less than 15 minutes off the lead as he looks to make up for his narrow defeat in 2025, where he finished second.
You can't be satisfied with second place, especially after having such a difficult race, and there's only one goal left, and that's to win it. Nobody will ever know what to expect going into their first Dakar, and it was the same case for us. You build up sort of an idea in your head, but nothing can prepare you for what you're about to face. Never. Not once did I think of giving up. It was all of the things that have happened so far, and not just in the Dakar, in my career before this and in this season even. It's all motivation. There's one of 2 choices. Either you back down or you get up again and you go back stronger. So there's never been a point where I thought I'm going to stop. We're going to go flat out for it. Last year was our best showing so far. Got up to speed quite quickly right in the beginning. We were leading the race and leading it for a long time. We got close, but not close enough. One of the closest, I think the closest finish in Dakar history, but still second is the first loser, so it doesn't matter. To come up that short, it's sad. I think it takes you a while to process the feelings or the emotions, or to process the moment. In the beginning, I mean, the first few years, I was happy just to be there and happy to fight with the best in the world. Over time, your goals shift, your goals change, and I think, not to sound spoiled or anything, but you get used to the podium positions and the lower positions, and those are nice. But there's only one position that really matters if you're going there to compete. And other than previous years we were gaining experience, and this year we're going there to compete. It's the same goal for everyone, and that makes it even better.
Stefan Petterhansel was the only one of the 3 Defender drivers yet to win in the stock class. Mr. Dakar has driven an old Defender as his personal car for the last 10 years, so the chance to join the Defender project was the perfect reason to make a return to the rally that he owns. And it was very much a Defender team effort today, all stopping to assist each other as the stage progressed. Sarah Price won yesterday, Rokas Pachuska is leading overall, so it was just Petterhansel left without a win. the stock class battling with punctures as well. They got back on the road, and the reliable Toyotas are still in the fight too. Ronald Basso is ahead of Petter Hansel and Price overall, lying second in the standings, less than 30 minutes adrift of Bachuska. But today's stage winner, Stefan Petter Hansel. We managed to keep a consistent pace from the beginning onwards. We're also in the race to try and understand how this category works.
Bitter disappointment for Saudi's Dania Akil in the challenges, who was leading the stage. Before, another day of problems for the Odyssey Academy by BBR driver meant she lost almost 2.5 hours and plummeted down the standings. Only 4 women had previously won stages of Dakar: Jutta Kleinschmidt, Christina Gutierrez, Sarah Price and Dania Akil. That was until today. Puk Klaassen now adds her name to the list. Leading from kilometre 114, Klaassen never relinquished the lead, a smashing performance, winning by over 8 minutes.
Yeah, passing 60 cars, and luckily today we had a good road position, so it was nice to have some clear air. We felt good, we had no punctures, no issues, so it was a clean day for us.
The exceptional performances continue because it was another second-place finish on the stage for Yazir Seiden. He now leads challenges overall, becoming the first Saudi to lead this category, a joy for the host nation. A complicated day from the start for Pau Navarro, but it was important to stay calm and use his experience. After some difficulty in the sand, he still managed to take third today. In the SSVs, it was rough and almost tumble for Hamza Bakashab, a real taste of Dakar life for the Saudi. The loser of the day was Xavier de Sultre, who lost his lead in the overall, having finished over 18 minutes down due to a puncture. A new chapter for João Monteiro at Dakar 2026. Having won Best Rookie in the Challenges in 2025, he's now part of the factory team at Can-Am. A tremendous performance today. He was constantly nipping at the heels for first and second, eventually settling for third, because yesterday's stage winner Gonzalo Guerrero flew through the stage, keeping consistent throughout, and with a late surge in the final 40 kilometres, managing to overhaul his compatriot Monteiro, finishing second on the day. The top spot on the stage belongs to the title defender Brock Hager. Once he took the lead, no one could touch him. It's a 4th Dakar stage success for the American.
Super happy with it. You know, we got one puncture there towards the end. A lot of dust, a lot of rocks there towards the end. But overall, my Polaris Razor was fast.
Bachuska continues to lead stock. Yazir Seiden makes history leading challenges. It's a 1-2-3 for Loeb Frey Media Motorsport in SSV.
In the T5 trucks, the young superstar Mitchell van der Brink has a 3-minute lead. He's at the top of the charts at the moment, but it won't be long until we see the 2-time champ coming into view. 3rd place at the moment, Maciek, ready to pounce.
Well, the problem for the truck, it came down this track, lost its brakes, and when it lost its brakes, instead of being able to take this right-hand curve here, it went over the edge. It rolled over twice into this ravine, and the truck is now stuck in that position. There's one crew member inside the cabin, but the crew member is okay and doesn't require medical assistance. We didn't have time to realize what was happening. There was only the drop in front of us and the message, "I've lost my brakes, I've lost my brakes." We fell into the void and we didn't know what had happened until we stopped. Well, I was just holding on and everything happened so quickly and smoothly at the same time. We didn't really experience any major shocks. It went rolling over and over The most impressive part was when we went over the parapet and plunged into the ravine, and then we finally stopped. You know, the nerves have calmed a bit. Luckily, we're okay, and there was help on hand to get us out. Well, it's not the easiest time, but it's not the time to work out what went wrong. Maybe tonight, once we get back to the bivouac. Well, we're going to try and get the truck back on the track, back on its wheels properly, and at least get it back on the road. Then we'll see if we can manage to get it towed away. A tough day too for Vaidottis Jala after 2 podiums in the previous 3 days. Rolled cars saw staff direct the Lithuanian off-piste, the dust masking a massive sandpit. Modest speed helped limit the damage, but power steering lost, as was 33 minutes to fall 5th overall. Teruhito Sugawara is a child of the Dakar and learned from one of the greatest. First as a navigator for his dad Yoshimasa, and then as a driver of his own Hino truck. Currently top 10 in the overall. Stage 1 saw Martin Scholtes and his crew change their turbo. 3 hours dropped, needing to discover some turbocharge, and some progress made, but today's effort was good enough for 6th. Everyone suffered punctures, but for Martin Masic, he was left with a choice. After having used all his spares, wait for help or ride the rim. The latter option taken, but Richard de Groot passing one over to Magic to get him home safely. And de Groot's pace saw the fireman rally team in 3rd on the special, just behind Alish Lowprice. The Czech led from the halfway stage before punctures blew up hopes of a 2nd stage win, but back in one piece. But the day belonged to Mitchell van den Brink, the overall leader, with his first stage win of Dakar 2026.
It was a long day at the office. We had 2 punctures. We were fighting with Magic. The first 100 kilometers, we sent him all the time, but he didn't let us pass. So it was very hard to orientate yourself. But finally we're here. I think we won this stage, so we're very happy and satisfied.
Mitchell first, Lowprice second, while a fantastic showing from Richard de Groot to edge Masic to a podium finish. But it's the big 3 in the category who have a cushion over the rest, and just 9 minutes separating Mitchell, Martin and Alish.
Today we're out here at the famous Alula Elephant Rock, and this is also an area famous for the Alula Tour cycling event that's held every year in February. And with that in mind, on today's Dakar Explore, we go and find a very special cycling school.
This Alula club has existed for just over 2 years now. In terms of equipment, the club has made everything available for the children of Alula. Here we have our young hopefuls who achieved very good results this year. It's very encouraging for a young local cycling club which the region of Alula can be proud of. Alula places very high importance on cycling. Here we work much like an academy. We teach them everything from A to Z. How to get on the bike, what the rules are, how to maintain and handle one's bike. For the next stage, we challenge them with cones. Then we teach them how to control the bike, to slalom, which brakes to use, which maneuvers to perform. In the third part, we take them out onto the road to do 20 and 40 kilometer rides according to their categories.
Cycling is a wonderful discipline. It's my passion.
I'm proud to be part of Alula Club. We have junior cadets, youth and seniors. I dream of being in the senior category.
The senior riders are always proud to see our young hopefuls on the podium. They are the future of the club.
And now for the Dakar Classic. These vehicles are a real blast from the past, some as old as these rocks. The trucks and cars of the Regularity Rally are going to pass some of the most spectacular sights in Alula.
In Dakar Classic, we have a majority of cars, but also 22 trucks and some very competitive ones, like the Tatra of Martin Stopper. Much more focused on the racing than on the stopping to help out competitors. And the stage to Alula was a tough one for the Toyota of Raúl Pascual.
We were probably over-enthusiastic, and the car went sideways. And we had a roll. But thankfully, nothing bad happened. We didn't injure ourselves, nothing. Wow, this is the only part that I hurt.
And of course, there's that famous Dakar spirit when one stops to help the other.
You go up here and pull me back.
We just tried and noticed that in 500 meters, we wouldn't manage it.
Meanwhile, at the top of the standings, Maxence Gublin is currently third overall in his Land Rover Defender. Rices still leads the race.
(1998), my first Dakar. Why the Dakar? Well, it was more than a dream, but it wasn't a project. I'd been invited to a few motor races because people knew I liked driving. Then one night at the Carrera Cup, we banged our fists on the table and said, we're doing the Dakar. That was the end of August. For me, the Dakar was getting wrapped up in my duvet at Kitzbühel or Wengen and watching the highlights. I was still a professional skier, and suddenly we're off to the Dakar. I went with Arnaud Debron. We did 5 Dakars together. We hardly knew each other back then. And 98 was the last 3-week Dakar. We set off from Versailles with people coming out of nightclubs and spraying the cars with their drinks. It was incredible to see so many people as we drove across France. I quickly realised I didn't understand this event. I didn't know anything and I hadn't understood. For me, losing a tenth of a second was a lot. I didn't realise it was 3 weeks of stages, that the Dakar's so long. It's not a test of endurance, it's a test of resistance. So it took me several days to get my head around that and to relax a bit. I was getting constant abuse from Arnaud because I didn't get it. As soon as I saw someone in front of me, I had to overtake them. People were making bets about me. He won't make it out of Morocco or through this stage or that stage. But we kept going until we had some mechanical problems on the double marathon stage. Almost 2,500 kilometres over 3 days. And at the start, I broke the gearbox, so we only had third gear. No reverse, nothing. At one point, Arnaud said, if we go right here, we can go to Attar and it's over. If we go left, well, I don't know what'll happen. We might not make it through. But we like a challenge, both of us, so we went left. We don't know where we're going. We know we'll be sleeping outdoors tonight. We're ready. We've got our duvets and the desert is beautiful at night. It took us 19 hours to reach Gao, and we learned a lot. It was hard because we spent hours digging. I almost abandoned at one point, slumped by the car, but I saw that Arnaud was digging and I was like, okay, I have to help him. We made it to Gao, but I can tell you now, I didn't finish that Dakar.
Ce Dakar, je vous le dis déjà, je le finis pas.
We didn't get through the stage from Tichit to Chinguetti. We repaired the car and we set off at midday, 5 hours after the last guys. Only the sweeper truck was waiting for us. I drove and I drove over the dunes. My vision started to go. I was tired. I jumped one dune, hit a big rock, and I knew it was game over. We were unlucky. We hit a stone which took out the axle drain plug, so the rear axle broke. We stripped everything down to drive with the front axle, but over the rocks, it gave up the ghost. I abandoned the Dakar 3 stages before the end, before the lac rose, and I said, you will never see me again here. I'm never coming back. Impossible. What is this crazy event?
Today in Rally GP, we saw a new winner on this year's Dakar. Tasha Shirena taking Honda to the top of the charts coming out of stage number 3. But it's Daniel Sanders that continues to run the show at the top of the overalls. And then in the cars, a great big story for the Blue Squad. Ford coming good here at stage number 3. Mitch Guthrie taking his first ever Dakar win. And with that as well, Ford dominating the top 5 in the overalls going forward into the big one, the marathon stage tomorrow. Strategy was definitely on display today, but tomorrow they've got to go out there and survive for almost 1,000 kilometers before they go to the next service bivouac. No comfy bivouac tomorrow. The competitors will be by themselves